Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar. It's Mike that's going to be going through today's session, and we do have Ollie on the live chat as well. So what we're going to be covering today is the relationship for accounts, parent and child accounts on the web store, and how basically they work and the different features that you can unlock by using this. So parent and child accounts and when you would use them. Some of you guys, some of our dealers may have customers that are multi-branch. For example, a hotel chain or a business, lots of different locations that all fall sort of under the same contract. That it's all the same individuals, but they need to be invoiced separately for whatever reason. And basically, that's what you can do with parent and child. You can have all different accounts, multiple accounts, using the same pricing, contract pricing, and be linked in. But then they may need to be separated for whether it's ordering purposes, for the web store. Or invoicing purposes where they need to be all invoiced separately against each other. There is a webinar specifically covering the relationship within the back end of parent and child that covers a little bit more in depth on how that works. But for the purpose of this session, we're just going to be going through a few little bits online and how that works. So starting off very quickly, if you're going to set up parent and child accounts, you've got more than one account that you need to set up. So in this case, we've got the two that you can see here. So we've got the parent, which is the Mike Stationery, which is, I'll just pull over the account, which is this account here. And then the other account that we've got is the Mike02, which is the Mike's Test Child account. And you can see which one's the parent, which one's the child, as defined by this parent company sort of box here within the child. And basically what that will define and what that will show you is which account is to the parent. So the test child account has been linked to the parent because the parent account has been entered here, and that is how you basically set up parent and child accounts. You enter the parent account into the child within this area, and what that does when you sort of enter that and when you save it, it allows basically the contract to be pulled from the parent. So you can see here on the right hand side there's a create contract button because there is a blank contract against this account, but in the actual parent, we go into the parent account, there will be contract lines. So within the pricing rules and everything within the back office, all the pricing will pull through. So if you enter an item into an order that is on the parent's contract against the child account, it will pull through. And when you log in online, there will be the contract that's visible as well. So it saves you managing multiple different contracts for multiple different accounts if they're going to be having the same price. So whatever change you make to the parent, it will happen in the child as well. So it saves a lot of time. You having to deal, say you could have 50-60 companies that fall under this. It saves you having to make the change to each and every single individual contract. It all pulls from the parent. So that's one of the main benefits. You can also, in the child, if I just go back to the child account, you are able to select an invoice location being the parent. So any orders that does go against the child, if you're splitting it for ordering purposes, whatever it may be, you can actually set up so the invoice location will be the parent account. So any orders for the child will go against that account. So the main sort of things in the back office, the main things you need to look out for. But on the web, there's a couple more options for that. So you've got the option for the contracts to go through. The other thing is some bits between the contacts. So if I go into the parent account, and this may be an option that you've seen before, and if we go into basically one of the contacts, we use this one as an example. This is one that we've set up. As long as this is web enabled, if we pull the account or the contact over, as long as it's web enabled, if we go into the web access, you can see it's web enabled. And there is one tick box in here that has been selected, which is this log to child button here. So this is available in all versions, and basically what this allows you to do, if we were to log into this account, so into the Mike Test account on this web store, basically if you may have a customer, may have a manager within the head office that wants to have access to all of the accounts, but if you've got a load of contacts, you've got 50-60 branches, each with a couple of contacts against each branch that you want to manage, having to remember all those passwords, everything like that isn't particularly great for data protection. for the customer's end, and it's also not really feasible having to remember that many different combinations. So what you can do, as long as that's ticked, if we go into the My Account section of the person that's selected to be logged to child, the admin, you have this option down the bottom right hand corner, which is the child account. And basically, if I click into here, it allows you to log in and mimic the child users without having to remember their passwords. As long as you click log in, it'll basically log that person in as that child account. They need to check over any spend, check any account settings, set up say order pads or whatever, and it can be done from within their own account, so they don't have to remember all different passwords, nothing like that. It's all done from the one account. And just to point out, you can see that we're in the child account now. They didn't have a contract against the account, but because they are parent and child, when we actually click into the contract, there are products within here. So it will pull it through online as well. So you don't have to go through and set up a load of duplicate contracts. It will be there for them to order online, and that sort of makes life a little bit easier. So as well as having the option for you to log into the child and to basically go through that way and manage the accounts just from one admin account, the other option you've got, and the other benefit of having parent-child accounts on PrimaGO, is you can actually authorise cross-company. So if you've got someone in one of the branches, say one of the hotels, that needs to have an order authorised by head office, rather than having say the main user, the authoriser, set up against each and every single account, they just want to have to remember one username and password to make life easy. If I just go back into the contact, so as long as the main contact is set to be an administrator, and within the actual child account, so if I actually go into the child account and we check the setup of the child user, as long as they're set up as place pending orders only, as this user is, just to show you. So you've got the child as place pending, and then you've got the admin as an administrator. What will happen is, because there are no other admins against that account, there's only that user, Prima will automatically select the administrator against the parent account to be the authoriser. So if you do have multiple branches, multiple say hotels as a good example, that need to have orders authorised cross-company, Prima will do it for you as long as there are no admins against the child account and you don't select any authorisers. It will automatically do that. And just to show you, within the control panel, under help and authoriser check, if you select your company, so we've selected the test account and selected that specific user, it can check that there's no defined sort of admins, there's no user set up in the same company as an admin or whatever. It will choose basically the user against the parent account as the authoriser, which makes life easier than having to set up say Mike against each and every single account that has that there's a child of that account. They have to remember 50 different passwords to log into all of the accounts. It's done from their account. It's just done from the one account. When they log into the orders, it will be in there for them to basically use and to play about with, and they can authorise and change the orders from there without having to remember so many different combinations of passwords. Should have a bit of a recap. Parent and child, it's set up within the actual parent section in the company, so you don't have to do anything else. It's literally just putting the parent account into there. When you actually do that, what you can do is you share the contract across the companies, and then you can basically enable the log to child option if you've got someone that wants to manage all of the accounts from the online section for the contacts, without having to remember a numerous amount of passwords. And then the final and one of the most important things is you can actually authorise orders cross-company. So as long as you've not got an admin in the child account and there is an admin set up within the parent account, as you can see, sort of with your help, you'll be able to use this sort of authorised check within the background to select that and to test it. You will be able to authorise orders cross-company, and those authorisers will receive the emails and the notifications to authorise the child orders, which makes life a lot easier than having to remember, again, so many different passwords for each account and each company. It just makes life a lot easier. So that is the parent-child on PrimaGO. It makes life a lot easier if you're managing big accounts. So if there are any companies that do fit this criteria, you think that it may be useful, just let us know, and we can discuss that, and we can discuss the setup and recommend whether or not this is the best route for you and the best option for that company. If you're looking for a bit more training on parent-child accounts, or even PrimaGO in general, just contact the customer care team and they'll be able to put you in touch and recommend training, and we can get that sorted. Apart from that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.